Liberate IT is an Oracle NetSuite solution provider that has been servicing Australian and New Zealand companies since 2011.
Well, good morning, afternoon, everyone. Great to have you all with us yet again. Today, we are going to go through a new feature of NetSuite called SuiteCommerce MyAccount. As usual, I will be the host today. I will be taking you through things. Unusually, I'm also your presenter today. So glad you're with us. Can't wait to get through everything and show you what is involved in NetSuite MyAccount. So today, we will be going through a couple of Liberate IT updates, again, some from NetSuite. I'll then go through SuiteCommerce MyAccount, and then we'll be wrapping up. As always, we will be recording today's session. So if you miss anything or you want to view that back, you can do that either on the YouTube or on our website. We'll be posting that there in about a week after today. Today I'm flying solo, so I won't be monitoring Q&A during the course of the session, but feel free to put in your questions, and I've got time at the end where I'll be answering those. Please avoid the chat function. That just confuses me really, and I'd really appreciate it if we just stuck to Q&A. So some updates from our team. We had the user events in Brisbane and Auckland last month. I got to meet many of you for the first time. Some of you, again, it was great to have, like, what was it, around 75 people in the Auckland event. It was well attended and very encouraging for all of us here at Liberate IT. I really hope that you got something out of it. Really keen that you made some connections there and that those connections are continuing on as well. If you missed it and you couldn't make it to either the Auckland or Brisbane event, let me know. Just send me an email. I'm happy to send the slide deck to you. We went through what are the new features in the latest release of NetSuite. Hopefully you can take advantage of some of those if relevant to you. NetSuite themselves went through their short-term roadmap as well and covered off some of the features that I'm going to be talking about today. So do reach out to me. I'm more than happy to share that with you. So upcoming webinars, we have Optimate Me coming in a couple of weeks' time. They implemented Act-On for us here at Liberate IT. So Act-On is a marketing optimization tool that integrates to NetSuite. We've been quite happy with it, so we thought, hey, let's share that with our customers and see if that's something that you might be able to take advantage of as well. And then early next month, I've got our own Josh Gordon. He's going to go through advanced PDFs. So if you want to do some, I think, really simple customization on invoices or some other customer-facing forms, he's your man. He'll be able to take you through some of that. So look forward to those coming up. From the NetSuite end, they had their Suite World in the US end of last month. That's all wrapped up now. There's two keynotes in there that I'd encourage you to go and check out. They're posted on YouTube. Just search on NetSuite 2022 Suite World, and you'll find the two keynotes, Full Suite Ahead and the product keynote as well. NetSuite outlines some of the broader vision that they've got for the product and where they're heading long term. With that, be aware, some of the things that they've talked about in years past aren't here yet. So take it all with a grain of salt in terms of exactly when we'll get that here. But do keep an eye out for that. Have a look at those and some really interesting things that they're doing, particularly around artificial intelligence. So, and simplifying the finance process as well. The NetSuite 22.2 release is finishing the end of this month. It does feel like we've been talking about that for quite some time, primarily because we have. It started back in August, mid-August, that phase one. A few customers went live with it back then. According to what I could see in NetSuite, the last of our customers are upgrading on the 25th of October. So all that I've been talking about in terms of release preview and testing and getting access to those new features all apply to you. As always, the new release portlet on your dashboard is a place for all the information you need for that. Check out that release date for you if you have not yet upgraded, or if you're not even sure, it will tell you there that you're already on it if you are. So I won't say too much about that. Go back to the last 4 or 5 webinars and you'll be able to check those out. Okay, so NetSuite have some new modules that are available for purchase. So these all do have a licensing component attached to them. The first one that I'm going to go through today is SuiteCommerce MyAccount. I'm not going to spend any time on that now. We'll be doing a deep dive into that in just a second. Complementing that is SuiteCommerce. So MyAccount actually is included with this SuiteCommerce, and SuiteCommerce is really, if you think about it, a replacement for site builder websites that have stopped being developed by NetSuite for the last 4 or 5 years, as far as I can tell. So it's relatively new to market here in the ANZ region. It's been available in the US for quite some time as they bed down the solution. I quite like it. They call it more an activation than they do an implementation. So it's all driven out of NetSuite, and the website tools that you have to maintain the website. You get to choose a number of different themes. You'll see on there that I'm writing that there's 30 days for activation, which is their Suite Success implementation methodology by NetSuite themselves. So worth checking out. So depending on the type of industry you're in, there might be some themes worth checking out. So where does SuiteCommerce fit in terms of another product that they have called SuiteCommerce Advanced? And apologies, they're calling everything the same thing. So SuiteCommerce Advanced has been in market for years and years now. It is one of the more customizable websites. It is a true website implementation and creation. Lots of customization. You need dev teams to make changes to that. Quite a flexible tool, but it comes with the relative expense of implementing and buying it. SuiteCommerce sort of sits down the next rung there, more of a templated approach. Lots of functionality that NetSuite have already learned from the SuiteCommerce Advanced platform. What do most customers really need? Let's build that out of the box for them. And then, yes, you can change it. You can change the themes. There's a lot of extensions you can add to that to make it your own. Obviously, your own products, your own images, your own logos, etc., etc. So that's where SuiteCommerce sits in with SuiteCommerce Advanced. And MyAccount that I'm going to go through today forms part of that SuiteCommerce solution as well. MyAccount, however, can be sold separately and distinct from needing to buy a whole website, if that makes sense. Okay, glad I cleared all that up. The other thing that NetSuite have just released is something called SmartCount. Now, SmartCount is a way for you, it achieves two things. It allows you to do a stock take without the need of paper. You can use a mobile device, and you can scan the barcodes of your products and enter those in, so your team are able to get on the floor and actually update NetSuite in real time. The second thing it achieves for you is that between the time that you start the stock take and you finish the stock take, it keeps track of all the transactions that are happening behind the scenes. So if you're selling some goods, it knows that you've sold those goods, and so they shouldn't be in stock, and it keeps all track of that for you. So you don't need to stop your business or stop transactions as you're doing a stock take, which is pretty nice. Been a long time coming, I guess. What I like about SmartCount is you don't need to buy the full WMS solution that NetSuite have to take advantage of this. They do sell this independently of all that. It's included in the WMS solution, if that makes sense. So they've just split that out and gone, hey, we think that this could be helpful to some of our customers as a standalone. So that's what they've done there. Okay, that's it for new products that NetSuite have released. There's some more coming, but let's wait for those to all land before we go into those a little bit more. I always like to talk about NetSuite's own webinars that they have. So if you've got a company-wide LCS pass, you've got access to all of these webinars. You'll notice there's a big focus on finance teams because that is the engine room of NetSuite and most businesses, apart from sales guys. I know sales is important too. And obviously a bunch of reports there. So this is the rest of October. You can see there's plenty there. There's just as many on in November as well. So do get along to those. Great way to upskill your team or yourself if you're interested in that. Okay, so that's all the prelim done. I'm now going to talk about SuiteCommerce MyAccount. And really, NetSuite, as I mentioned, wanted to replace Site Builder with SuiteCommerce, and part of that was a MyAccount portal. And just a bit like that SmartCount solution, they went, you know what, there's a number of customers that would benefit of a customer portal that looks a lot better than Customer Center in NetSuite. I'll touch on that in a sec. And so they've split this out for a way for your customers to engage with you directly without having to email and call. Really, they can both do both, obviously, but it just gives opens up another avenue for them to make contact with you. So let's jump into it. Why did they do this? So they recognized that they needed to speed up the billing process, or you wanted to speed up the billing process and needed a way to help you with that. So they've done that with this quote process, which I'll take you through in a second. Provide timely customer service. So they really wanted to be able to have your customers get customer service through you, not just through phone calls and emails, which, let's face it, can get lost, but through the NetSuite customer portal. So they've set that up for you. If you're using support inside NetSuite, this will all be revealed to your end customers should you want to. How do we provide timely customer service without increasing headcount? Well, let's use technology to help with that. So that's the idea behind it. And let's not have a separate portal that's separate to NetSuite and having to integrate it and figure out why things aren't integrating properly, et cetera, et cetera. It's all built on the NetSuite platform. So live updates from your customers as they enter information, it's updating NetSuite proper, which is great. So as I mentioned, MyAccount is just a way for your team your customers rather, interact with you. One thing I like about MyAccount is that it's a software as a service. It's like NetSuite. It's going to get updated twice a year with improvements and enhancements. It's not that you're buying this and it's just locked in for all time. You'll be able to take advantage of improvements to this as you go along. So quoting, for example, is an ability for your customers to receive a quote online and action that and convert that to a sales order. That's something that's only just been released in the MyAccount function for the team in the US, and that has obviously just come to us out of the box. So great, happy days with that. So what are the different modules available within MyAccount, or rather than modules, what are the different feature set? So billing, so your customers will be able to look at outstanding invoices, what their balances are, pay their invoices, download statements, and look at what has been ordered recently, and they can reorder previously purchased items. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about that and what you can and can't do in SuiteCommerce MyAccount in a little bit as we wrap up. But just be aware that, yes, customers will be able to reorder previously ordered items from you within this portal, but then it's not a full B2B website like that's SuiteCommerce or SuiteCommerce Advanced. This is necessarily just a portal for your customers to transact with you and get some information from you. So I'll go through what it does and doesn't do in just a second. In terms of returns, you can initiate the return, or your customers can initiate the return process, and you can monitor that. And if you've got an RMA process in NetSuite, that can trigger that, and you can follow that through as well. And quotes, as I mentioned, your sales team, if they create a quote in NetSuite, that can be revealed to your customer inside the portal, and they can convert that into a sales order, which is great. Case management, if you're using that in NetSuite, we can reveal that to your customers as well, and they can have back and forth with your support team that way, as well as emails, as well as phone calls, or instead of, whatever you like. So let's get into it. So what I've done here for this demonstration is I've taken some screenshots of my account portal, really just for simplification for me in terms of presenting it. So these are screenshots. It's not a live portal, but what we've done is we've taken, well, what is the most vanilla out of the box portal that you can get delivered through my account with all the menus switched on? And that's what you see here. So, so the customer, so your name would be Ozink. You're providing a customer portal to Wayne at AusNet. So Wayne is going to log onto the portal. Usually you'd see Ozink logo and branding and banners, etc. on here, but I've just kept this vanilla. I've just put in SuiteCommerce as a bit of a brand because that's what I'm showing you today. So let's go into it. So Wayne has received a login and password from NetSuite. When you can set that up inside NetSuite itself, just like the customer portal. If you're using that now, same process. He's going to log in, so put in his username and password. Let's log in here. Okay, so the landing page that we see on screen, reasonably self-explanatory. I mean, let's face it, we're showing Wayne the information that you want him to see, which is, hey, what are all the invoices that he's got outstanding with you at the moment? And just ability for him to review, hey, is all my details right? And I'll go through the process very simply of how they can update those details towards the end of today's session. Okay, so that's the overview. That's the landing page when he first gets in here. Let's just click on the purchases menu and see what we can see here. So clicking on here, we can see all the purchase history that AusNet has had with this organization. And this layout is similar through all these screens. So I'm going to go through the layout a little bit because it is pretty self-explanatory, but over to the left-hand side, over the top here, we've got filters. So right now I'm seeing all the purchase history. We can just see what are the open transactions that are currently there, and we can select a date range that we're going to filter and just see that. Because obviously these transactions, hopefully for your sake, there's lots of sales and purchases that they've made with you. Over here, we've got a number of sorting options. All these different fields, headers can be sorted, and you just change it by selecting the right option there. You'll see on this particular one, we've got a tracking item. So if your couriers have got an integration where the tracking IDs are coming back into the sales orders electronically, we can reveal those to your end customers through the portal as well, which is nice. All right, so the reason why Wayne's looking at this particular one, though, is he had a bit of a problem with the most recently delivered item. So let's just click into the purchase order. And unfortunately, there was 3 things on here. Unfortunately, this Dell monitor was damaged when it landed. So what we're going to need to do is request a return for this back to Ozink. So let's do that now and click return. Now, the other 2 items, they were fine. That was in the same sales order, but there's no need to return those. So we're just going to return this one. There was only one to return. We're going to select a reason, which is if it was damaged during shipping. And Wayne has already typed, because he's a speed typer, please replace the monitor which arrived damaged, thank you. All right, so let's do that. Let's submit that request. That's all done. So now that's going to trigger the return process that you've got set up in NetSuite. If it's a workflow or a dashboard update or report, that's all sent that request off. Let's go, if I'm Wayne, I'm just going to have a quick look at that, make sure that that all looks okay. Yes, it's pending receipt, so I better get, Wayne better get his team to send that back to Ozink and return that. Okay, well that gets return process sorted, but let's look at reordering. So we need a replacement Dell monitor because my customer is still, or Wayne's customer, sorry, is still needing one. So here it is. We are reordering this previously ordered item. So what we're looking at here is just the orders in the last 60 days. This can go up to 180 days. And we're sorting it by frequently purchased, but you can also sort it by most recently purchased or by price or by name. So this reorder process is true for whether you've previously returned something or you're just wanting to reorder. Wayne is wanting to reorder something that he's ordered from you in the past. So you'll notice here there's no catalog of things to choose from. There's no sorting and filtering of products. It is essentially, hey, I want this. I've ordered in the past. I want to order it again. So let's add it to the cart. Little double check there. Yep, that all looks cool. I'm going to check out, and it's now added to the checkout process. So whilst there was a shopping cart there, it really is for ease of use for people that are very used to shopping carts. The purchase process is actually this checkout process here. So just looking at it, the shipping address, yes, it's going to the right address. all this is right. You'll notice down the bottom here, the GST inclusive price of deliveries in here. They've stripped that out as GST exclusive and added the tax there. So yes, that all looks good. Wayne can add a promo code if he's got one. He doesn't. Let's just scroll down and have a look here. There's the invoice address. That all looks cool. All right, let's click continue. All right, we're now at the second step, which is payment. You'll notice that we're defaulting to credit card payments. Like customers to pay by credit card. It means we're paid straight away. However, Wayne is got an account with us, so let's click on invoice rather than paying by credit card. Okay, so Wayne has a 15K credit limit with us. We've got the available balance, so Wayne can see when he's purchasing what his available balance of that is, rather than being surprised when the order doesn't go through. Yes, he can apply a gift certificate still if he wants to. Scrolling down, billing address, yes, that all looks cool. Let's now click continue, and bear with me as I take a drink. And one last time, we're doing a final review. Is this all okay? Is this what I want? Yes, it is. I'm going to place the order. Okay, so that order is now placed with us. It's done. There's an invoice that's generated, and it will now trigger the process to get that item off to Wayne, and happy days there. Okay, so let's have a look at the sales order that relates to that particular purchase. Here it is. We can see that it's still pending fulfillment. So when Wayne logs in at any time in the future, and he goes, "What happened to that purchase? Where is it up to?" I can actually see that it's pending fulfillment, and we're still waiting to ship that out the door for whatever reason. So nice visibility for Wayne to be able to get real-time updates. So that's really how to reorder items through the portal. We've covered off returns already, and we've covered off reordering items. Very simple process. If you've used the website in the last 30 years, you kind of are very familiar with this. I don't think any of the buttons are out of place. It all is all very straightforward. Okay, I do want to cover off quotes though for you, so I'm just going to click on the quotes. So something to note here: if Wayne has been talking to your sales team and negotiating something, okay, I want to get a wholesale price for a backpack, for example, and they've been negotiating that. Your team can then create a quote. Short, we can email it to Wayne, and he's lost it as he always does. But Wayne can come back in here and he's like, "Oh, I want to look at this at 11 p.m. when I've finally got some time to focus on this." He's now looking at what are all the quotes that I've received from this business, and I can see some expired ones. Now, obviously, we can hide the expired ones, but you want to obviously put end dates on your quotes so that as you need to increase prices, the old quotes expire. And I can see some have been processed, which is great. I've got this open one here that I've just spoken with Mike about. Let's just click on that and have a look at this particular quote. So all the details that I need are on here. It's a nice Lada, as I call it, backpack. Yes, I've got a discounted rate from the typical $77.95, which is great. If I've got any questions for Mike, I've got his contact details at the bottom of the screen here to give him a call or email him, which is great. And yep, this looks right. That's the GSC inclusive price. Let's review and place that order because I want to go ahead with that backpack. I really like it. Again, it's defaulting me here to the credit card. Now, if you only have on-account customers, we can hide this, obviously. But I'm on account, so I'm going to go for invoice. You can still see the overall balance. And I'm happy with all of that. So I am just going to click submit, and that's done. It's sent off. I've made that purchase. I've converted that quote into a sales order, and happy days. That's all there. I've now just jumped down to the billing screen and the account balance screen, which is a little landing page for billing. And that tells me, okay, here's my credit limit of $15,000. This is how much I've used, and this is how much I've got available. Nice little chart there, I can see my payment terms on here that I've negotiated with this business, what the currency is, etc. And now I'm just going to click on invoices and have a look at what outstanding invoices I've got. Okay, so there's the invoice for the backpack. That's already there, which is great. I've got another existing invoice that's outstanding. Bear with me, just ignore the dates on those. And I just want to have a look at that invoice and make sure it's all cool. Yes, that's the one I just ordered. That's great. I am going to make a payment on that because I'm an awesome customer. Okay, so what you'll see here, NetSuite is now going, hey, this is great. You want to pay all of our invoices. And so the total payment for both those invoices is for the full amount, right? So typically that's what you want your customers to do. And so, yes, Wayne's happy to pay the $54.56, but he's not so keen to pay the full amount here, but recognizes he probably needs to make some sort of payment towards that overall invoice. So I'm going to do that now. So let's click on edit payment. I've just typed in $2,000 instead of the full amount. Click on save, and now we can see that, yes, there's still the two invoices that are receiving payment, but $2,054.56. So what this does for your debtors team is make sure that the allocation of payments are done correctly against the right invoice. So poor example here in terms of the dates, but if typically what they would do is apply the payments to the oldest invoice first, which makes sense, but that might not be the customer's intention. And so what you're allowing the customer to do is actually express their intention in here and going, I'm happy to pay this one in full, this one partially, instead of the full $2,054 being paid against that one. So kind of like that feature. It's quite nice. Okay, back to Wayne. He's going to click continue. Now, how is he going to pay? He's going to pay by credit card. He is putting in his security number. So worth mentioning that I guess security in NetSuite, if you didn't already know, it's got what's called PCI compliance. So it is regularly audited by external parties around the security of holding credit card details for its customers. So these are all safe and secure. Okay, I'll put in the security number, or Wayne's put in the security number rather. And yes, I'm paying $2,054. Let's click on submit. And guess what? It's done. It's paid. It's paid in full. It's recognized that this particular invoice is just a deposit. It's not the full payment of the invoice. As a customer, you can see all your transaction history. So it's not just the sales orders, the invoices, etc. You can actually see what payments that you've allocated on the account for them. So full transparency for your customer around all that, which obviously helps in terms of sorting out old invoices that may have been part paid, etc. I'm going to go through the rest of these features pretty summarily, primarily because they're pretty obvious. Printing a statement is very straightforward. You can have statement dates. You can add in a few different bits of, a few different options here. You've got a customized statement that will be presented to the customer. Wayne is able to download that as a PDF, or he's able to email it to himself, whatever he likes, which is great. Okay, in terms of settings, I can update my company name, which is great, phone number and email address, pretty obvious stuff. Email preferences, so this is subscriptions to your marketing efforts. So if you're marketing out of NetSuite, don't know if you've ever experienced, but you've had a customer that's unsubscribed from your emails because he just felt like there was too many coming through. And you'll notice that in NetSuite, you can't actually resubscribe them once he changes his mind, right? So you actually need to ask them to log into the portal and resubscribe that way, or the customer center if you've got that, which is obviously free with NetSuite. So something to bear in mind, better, clearer way for them to resubscribe to you, and they can do that here. Addresses, couldn't be simpler. You can edit it, you can change it, you can add a separate address. You can have one as a shipping default, one as a billing default. World's your oyster with addresses, of course. In terms of credit cards, similar deal. You can edit them so that the expiry date gets updated. You can get rid of them, you can add new ones. Very straightforward. And by you, I'm talking about Wayne, obviously. Wayne can also change his password. If you ever changed a password in the last 30 years, you know how to do that. And then wrapping up is just case management, right? So again, like I said, if you're using case management inside NetSuite, you can reveal all the cases to your end customers. They can log in. Wayne can go, I want a new case. Not only was the monitor a bit of an issue, but I've now got a laptop that's now not booting. Sending a case through to say, hey, can this be replaced? I've decided not to go through the return authorization process for some weird reason, and I'm going to go and submit that, and that's now there. You'll notice that he is able to add another message, close the case if he wants to, but you know, he might come back the next day and go, I wonder how that support team are going with that information, and he'll log back in again and look at the case that he wanted to look at, and he can see, okay, the next day the support team has contacted me back and this is what they've said, and I'm happy. So little thing to note, bit of a weird thing with NetSuite support through the portal. Wayne can't add an attachment on the original case, but he can do that as the case progresses. So something to be aware of and mindful of, which is a little bit annoying, but that happens. All right, so that's it for the portal proper. There's a bit to talk about in terms of the overall solution, though. So I was pretty keen to run through that with you, and just because I showed you the sale process of Wayne ordering new items, I just wanted to again clarify what it does and doesn't do. So what I've got here is a list of features that comes with SuiteCommerce and SuiteCommerce Advanced within NetSuite. And then over to the right-hand side, I've got a column that says, hey, is this available in MyAccount, yes or no? So yes, you can see orders and purchase history, but you can't enter an order. So it's not a B2B portal for your customers, right? So they won't be able to see a catalog of all the different things to go, oh yeah, and then filter that down to go, that's exactly what I want. I'm going to order that. That's not available in MyAccount. What is available is they can see what they've ordered in the past and reorder it. So good for customers who are constantly reordering the same thing from you every week or month or fortnight. Allows them to do that quickly and easily and understand exactly what those costs are. You can both view returns and request returns in all those systems. You can't create a quote, so your customers won't be able to request a quote inside the portal. But if they've been talking or emailing with your sales reps, and your sales reps create that quote inside NetSuite, then that quote will then be revealed in MyAccount portal to your customer for them to go ahead and action, as well as emailing it, faxing it, whatever, if anyone's still faxing these days. Quote management and quote to sales order, all part of that process. Apologies. Shopping cart, I touched on that already. So there's no true shopping cart experience in the portal, right? So we just have a shopping cart there because it's familiar to end users, but there's no monitoring of, oh, we noticed that Wayne put 3 items in his shopping cart and he then logged out, and we'll now use a marketing engine to market to him to make sure that he keeps buying it. Like, there's none of that happening in there. It's a dumb system in terms of shopping cart, I'm purchasing. If I change my mind, that's it. I've logged out. That data's all gone. It's not designed to be that. You can do all those things in SuiteCommerce and SEA, but not in MyAccount. The checkout process can just do those things that I demonstrated today, essentially. Billing, happy days. It can do everything that I just showed you, and everything that can be achieved in SuiteCommerce and SEA. Other things. So in a normal B2B environment, such as SuiteCommerce, you can create product lists where people can select their products, filter things through multiple levels. Customers can create wish lists and then save those for later and come back to it and decide to purchase that or not. MyAccount doesn't do that. However, case management, account settings, subscription management. So if you're in a software place like I am, it's not software subscriptions, it's marketing subscriptions or email subscriptions there. One thing I like is it's a secure site. You don't have to worry about certificates. Apologies. NetSuite maintain those security certificates on your behalf. It's one less thing for you to worry about. Then there's some more technical aspects of MyAccount for dev, and some of those things are available. I won't go into the APIs so much, but it's worth saying that being a simple product that gets updated twice a year, if you are 95% satisfied that it's doing everything that you need it to do for your customers, try and avoid heavy customization of the site. Some of the underlying tools are not available to you anyway, but what you need to worry about is this another thing for me to worry about as the site gets updated, or as the NetSuite gets updated twice a year? Keep it as vanilla as possible. NetSuite will release new features every 6 months, and you can take advantage of those. So something to be aware of and mindful of. Yes, you can add logos, your own branding, your own images, color schemes. You can do all that in it. You just can't do some nice little hack to set off some other process that it was never designed to do. Okay, and custom themes. So in terms of the overall look and feel of it, there is a base theme that you need to start with, but then using the site management tool, you can then use that to do some further, I'm not going to say customization, but modification to that. I've taken a screenshot of a training webinar that NetSuite have on the site management tool. It's quite a simple layout. It's designed for an end user without the need of a developer. So if you do go ahead and say, I think MyAccount is for me, do I now need to resource up a dev, or do I need to keep coming to Liberate for a dev resource? The answer is no. It's very much a drag and drop experience to update that website. Some things I like about the site management tools is that there's full audit history behind it, so you know what changes have been made and when. You can preview things before you publish them. You can publish changes on a particular date and also in a particular date range. So you might want to let customers know that you've got a sale on between the 1st and the 13th of the month, and just have that notification on there on the 1st and 13th and direct them to your B2B portal if you've got one, right? So and then create a hyperlink for them to go and do that and to explore that. So you can do all that with it, which is pretty nice. The site management tool is the same tool that SuiteCommerce uses and SuiteCommerce Advanced uses as well. So it's all one tool to use outside of NetSuite. Bearing all that in mind, the vast majority of the configuration that you are going to need to do and the updates of details, etc., is all done in NetSuite. So there's no double up. This is just the website presentation to the world. All right. So by now you're going, wow, that's really great, Andrew. I'm really interested. Well, how much is it? So, and how do I go about implementing it? So I thought I'd just let you know both those things. And also to let you know that the Liberate IT team internally are also looking to roll this out for you guys. So it's a nice way for you to actually interact with it before you make a decision to move ahead. Having said that, we've got a lot of competing priorities, mainly our customers, and we want to look after them first. So we've got a target date of end of year to get that rolled out for everyone. So in the new year, new experience, our support team are upskilling in all this now, so that once it's implemented, you're looked after. Like you've got a weird question about the site management tool, you're not quite sure how to do things, we can answer those questions for you in the support team. Our plan is to help you implement that ourselves come the new year. That's something you want to do earlier than that. NetSuite do have a fixed price implementation of around $3,000 New Zealand dollars, different pricing in Australia as well, but around the same amount. Now, NetSuite's implementations are good. They've done this dozens of times. They know what they're doing, very straightforward. And this process is very straightforward. What they aren't as well equipped to do is be as nuanced with your particular needs as we are. They follow a set process and you just need to follow that process. So, but you'll get a working awesome site by the end of it, either way. The list price, everyone's got a different account discounts in place. $13,000 to me sounds high, but once your account discount is put in place, it becomes a lot cheaper. Come and reach out to me if that's something you want to know. How much would it be for me, Andrew? I guarantee you it will be a lot less than that, but just full transparency, there it is. I talked about NetSuite's well, I didn't talk about Suite Success. NetSuite have an implementation methodology called Suite Success, and this is their activation service. So they talk about being able to go live in 10 days, which is pretty quick. And what you'll get with that is you'll have a MyAccount portal for one subsidiary. So if you're in one world with multiple subs, come and talk to me. It's not that we can't do it or NetSuite can't do it. It might just be a little bit more complicated for you. One language, it is multi-language, by the way. So you can have MyAccount in multiple languages if you're servicing different regions of the world. And it's through one domain. So again, flexible, we can do more than that, but this is just what you get with the out-of-the-box implementation from NetSuite. By the end of it, you'll learn how to configure the extensions. So those extensions allow you to do things like, hey, that portal, Andrew, looks good, but hey, I really want some product images on there. And an extension will allow you to do that. Hey, I really want a customer to be able to subscribe to our email at the bottom of the page. Yeah, there's an extension that just simply allows you to do that. So that drag and drop functionality is quite handy there. You don't have to know any code to do that. 2 landing pages for your login page. Don't know what you need to. I think you need 1, but I'm open to being corrected there. You'll learn how to change the theme. So yes, we're starting with a base theme. They'll take you through how do you change the themes and keep those updated. And they also give you 4 hours of help after it's all gone live as well to answer those little questions. Once that's all used up, come and talk to us and we're more than happy to help you out. Okay, almost there. I have some resources that are already available for you if you wanted to go and check that out. If you're a manual person like I am, under help, not Suite Answers, under help are all the user guides for every part of NetSuite. NetSuite just grabs all the Suite Answers and consolidates that into a booklet. For me, I'm simple and I kind of like that approach. So there's one called My Account Guide and the Site Management Tool. So if you wanted to read up on that, how does it all work? You can do that. It is very technical, but there's information there for you, both now getting started and also once you're live with it. If you've got a company-wide LCS pass, there is a web store administration, which is primarily designed for SuiteCommerce, not so much MyAccount, but there's some crossover there with the site management tools and how to maintain content management and all that sort of stuff is in there as well. So if you've got access to that, go ahead and do that. So that's it for me. That's all things MyAccount. I will now check out Q&A and I will answer those. Okay, so first question that's come through for the payments, is there an option for bank transfer or credit card only? My understanding at this stage is that it's credit card only for them to do that because there's no direct debit authority through the website for them to take that money from you, is my understanding. Happy to take that on notice. You're anonymous, so maybe just email me that question and I'll be able to find out that answer for you. The next question that I've got is, can the transaction list, such as invoice, can it be customized? So the transaction list, so do you want to the question is, do you want to just see certain types of transactions in that transaction list for your end customers? Yes, you can present them just what you want to present. That's just done through a simple save search and done that way behind the scenes for you. So short answer to that one is a yes.
We hope this video gave you the information you were after. If you have any further questions, get in touch with us using the links in the description.